It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yeah, man, look at this view. Can't get enough of it. If and, well, when I move, I'm sure gonna miss it. Another cool thing about living here is we have organic lime tree that makes organic limes. You know what? Our neighbor has an orange tree, and I'm like, man, we've been here like over a year, and I really haven't made friends with my neighbors. Actually, like the first month that we were here, she came and brought like a little plastic pool for my nephews. That was my chance to make friends so we can get oranges. But yeah, you can see it. But oh well. I think it's a older lady that has a dog, and one time my food went to her house accidentally. She was nice about it though, but her dog was trying to attack me. But yeah, this is our beautiful lime tree. I told the guys at my group therapy that I would bring him some next time, so if you guys want any, I have plenty. When life gives you limes, make margaritas or key lime pie, whichever you like. But yeah, it might not be too late for me to go over there. I should go and take her a bag of limes. So I was like, hey, I see you have an orange tree, and they just go to waste. She can't possibly eat all those oranges by herself. Yep, I've been pretty productive today. Worked on a video and did some laundry. So I don't know if anyone knows this, but if you have a duvet cover, right? So it's just a quick look up on YouTube, but it's a video by Rachel Ray, and it makes it really easy. It's better, of course, if you have somebody with you helping you, um, but yeah, look up duvet cover trick Rachel Ray, and the video's on there. But yeah, I was working on this video, and there's a thing on there that I wanted to do, which I wanted to like blur out like the street that I was on, because I don't know. I know that not everybody's gonna like you online, right? So it's just making it harder for someone to find me, I guess. You guys could probably figure it out if you wanted to, but I wanted to blur out the sign, and literally I think it took me like 2 hours to work on just, I don't know, if you watch the video, there's like two parts. One part's maybe 5-10 seconds, and the other one is a little bit longer, but it took me like 2 hours to figure all that out. But you know, it's just trial and error, and next time that it comes up, I'll know how to do it. I was just prepping for tomorrow's live. Tomorrow's gonna be about anger. I'm excited about that. I haven't been on live in I think over a week. So it's due time. Alright, I'll be leaving here in a minute. I'm gonna go get a car wash and then head to my gym. On the road again. Sometimes I like to sing. I'll see myself as much as a singer, but as a performer. So, we are on our way to the car wash. However, you know, when you want to leave and go somewhere and you realize that your phone's about to die and you need gas. So today I'm going to my circuit training gym. I did wake up a little later, a half hour late, and I forgot to set my alarm, but I woke up 30 minutes after 5. So maybe my body is getting used to waking up so early. I know I keep talking about it, but literally it's been a game changer for me. It's been more so productive and not procrastinating and just working on different things and coming up with these just great ideas. I think they're great. The other day, I get home and the sky was just clear and the stars are so bright. So I go and lay down in the bed of my truck and I said, I'm not going to get up from here until I have a good idea, creative. Because at the time it wasn't about me meditating, it was just thinking, just observing my thoughts. You know how sometimes you have the best ideas when you're taking a shower or you're laying there trying to go to sleep and your mind is just racing and you have like, I should really do this and this and this, and then you wake up and you're like, wow, I was really motivated last night when I was trying to sleep, but now I feel like procrastinating again. At least that's what's happened to me before. So it's just really nice. So if you ever get to a point where you're not in the shower or you're not trying to go to sleep and you feel stuck, like maybe you're trying to write something or you have a problem at work, sometimes just go somewhere quietly and just observe your thoughts and just like tell yourself, I'm not gonna move until I come up with a good idea, a good solution. And I get not everybody has that chance. Maybe they're so swamped at work, they don't have time to get away or have time away from your kids. But if you can just wake up, you don't need to meditate for an hour like I do. I don't really send myself for an alarm. I used to do guided meditation, and that was about 25 minutes. But when I do it on my own, I've been doing it at least for like 50 minutes to an hour. But you don't need that much time. But you can get really creative if you just observe your thoughts. Speaking of, what are times that you going and taking a breather really helped you? For me, it means everything. And sometimes I do forget. I say I need to give myself just at least like a 10-minute break and just go take a breather. But when I go and do my meditation and then visualization, I usually give, so if it's about 50 minutes, I'm usually doing half of the time meditation, half of the time visualization. And when I'm just meditating, I am observing my thoughts, but at the same time, I am reminding myself to focus on my breathing. It is hard to tell yourself not to think of anything. And it's not really the point. It's go ahead and think of something and then keep reminding yourself to go back to just breathing. Because in a real world, when you're not alone by yourself and there's a lot of chaos going on, if you can shut your mind off of the chaos and just try to focus on breathing, it'll get you back into a more calmer state. It's like so busy here at the gas station. I need to get out of here. There's too many people in here. People get mad and honking at each other. I think they have enough pumps, but there's not enough space to maneuver around. So today is car wash, gym, and Costco. So going back to breathing, last year I discovered breathwork, and it's pretty intense. For me, I've done it several times since, and there was no time like my first time. The first time I did it, and I think I was more comfortable too because I was by myself, and it was because it was over Zoom. but I was home by myself and I just let out so much energy. I haven't cried like that since I was probably 6 years old. And it just felt like all of this built up hurt, anger, frustration, resentment, sadness, like all like the negative emotions just came out and I just cried it out so hard. It was amazing. And I know that they have breathwork workshops where you go in and maybe there's a small group of people. I've done breathwork in a room full of like 300 people. And maybe subconsciously, I didn't feel comfortable expressing my emotions, even though we all had like our own little space on the floor in this conference room. And we all had the eye covers on. And there was plenty of people just letting it all out, screaming and wailing and crying and laughing. Everybody was in their own little journey. I highly recommend breath work. If you could do it, if you don't feel comfortable in front of people, you could try to find somebody. When I get a chance, I'll look for it and then I'll let you guys know who's maybe doing it over Zoom or something. But the best way to get through something is to feel all the emotions. And there's this thought that maybe once you start crying, you're not going to stop. But the longer you hold it in, the longer the worse it's going to get if you do get to that point where you can let it out. Meaning, something that I'm going to talk about tomorrow in my live stream with anger is that it can cause some not just emotional health deficits in emotional health and in mental health. It could be physical too. It can translate into arthritis, high blood pressure, and there's another one, arthritis, and headaches. So just imagine how much better you would feel if you're able to just release it. And there's nothing to be afraid of if you're by yourself. So just be that 6-year-old kid again where when you were getting sent to your room and you were just upset at the world and you were just either probably hungry or tired, but you weren't afraid back then to let out your emotion. Probably somewhere along the way with your parents, right? They would say, I'll give you something to cry about. So there's always like this negative connotation with crying. There's nothing to cry about. But it's a very human expression. We came into this world crying. Yeah. If you ever think you're trying to find your purpose, you're trying to find who you are before think of what were you sent to this world to do? Why do you have this life? So if you can go back to who you are when you were born, before someone gave you a name, before someone told you your gender, your culture, your religion, your view on politics, before anybody ever gave you anything, you came in this world as a naked baby. I highly, highly recommend breathwork. You can cry like a baby and get rid of a lot of that built up negative energy. And then that way, it might be easier for you to locate your inner self. Like, who are you meant to be? That's my TED Talk. Thanks for coming. But I get really passionate about talking about this stuff because who I am now versus who I was just 2 years ago, to me, it just seems like night and day. I don't know how other people view me, people that have known me. And I think I have had feedback of that they think I've matured, I have grown. And I'm really grateful for that. And I'm glad it didn't take me until my 40s, 50s, 60s to finally realize that maybe my unhappiness is due to me and my decisions and how I live my life and not blaming on others for not feeling good. So I'm going to try to get some footage at the gym. I am. They got this you put this on the where you stack the weights so you can watch them work out for a few seconds. I don't want to get boring, but if you know what's cool about me, it's I get to hang out with me all day. I am pretty cool. Honestly, that's how you should think about yourself. Spending time alone, just look at yourself in the mirror. Give yourself a high five whenever you see it. That tip comes from Mel Robbins. She has a good book called Let Them Theory, and she talks about that. Don't ever leave a mirror without high fiving yourself because you're pretty cool. I know it. It's so satisfying. Oh gosh, that was loud. But I got like 10 minutes to dry up and I have to get going to my gym. I'm gonna be late. I had to skip the vacuuming, but I made it on time. Let's see what regimen they have for us today. Pretty sure it's gonna kick my butt, but I'll get as much footage as I can. Whew. That was a rough one. I did manage to get some footage. My poor little heart is going 100 miles an hour. But next stop, Costco. I'm gonna have to change my shirt. I don't know how the audio is gonna be on this one. I'm here at my favorite store. Fun fact is I used to work at Costco. I used to sell cell phones inside of a Costco. But look at me now. I'm a YouTube sensation. Wasn't always my favorite store. I'm being a little sarcastic on that one, but right now it's pretty slow, so not a lot of traffic in here. Some people get bossy with their carts, like they always have the right of way. So sometimes I just like to come in here and window shop, do some inventory. What's new at Costco? All the Costco's have different inventory. If you're wondering where my list is at, it's up here. Just hoping I remember everything. Let's see, what's your guys' favorite place to shop? Costco, Sam's Club, just a regular old grocery store. They gotta feel special, right? When you're part of a membership. Okay, we are looking for bananas, and we gotta make sure they're organic. All right. And we need some paper towel because I won't tell my sister I said this, but she loves to use paper towel. But right now is not the time to come because there are no more samples. Usually, if you come like 1 in the afternoon, sashimi. I'm kind of hungry, but it's kind of late too. I don't want to eat anything. How it's heavy if I'm gonna eat something. I hate making decisions for myself. Someone just feed me, and then I can't help but say yes. I have to. My sister's taught me a lot about what the nutrition facts, and like the one thing about spindrifts is now like extra stuff. Pretty sure people are thinking that I am talking to myself. Little did they know I'm talking to the whole world. Lots of paper towel. Remember when this was a shortage? Another fun fact is I used to truck drive, and I used to have a whole trailer full of paper towel. Whole trailer full of toilet paper. Sometimes doctor. And I would come and deliver a lot to Costco. Sharpies. You know what's fun is when the people that does the sampling, if they don't pay attention, you manage to grab a sample the first time, come around and they see you. It's like the first time. Some chicken fingers. I already got like $100 in my basket already. I just want to. These rotisserie chickens are just sitting there. I kind of just want to rip a leg off, and I mean, so I'm a little weird. If it's a big chicken, I like the chicken leg versus the rest of the meats. But if it's chicken wings, I rather eat boneless and not have to like eat chicken off the bone. Is that weird? Something that happened to me today, and before I started this YouTube channel, I was well into this mindset, but talking with you guys like really helps me take account for talking with people that have a negative mindset. I do my best to kind of just let it go out one in one ear and out the other, and not let it affect me. And this is how you're supposed to let negative emotion just come in and just flow out. Don't hold on to it. Just let it. Listening to someone just kind of complain, just just let them, just let them vent, and then go on about it, about your day. Don't let it ruin your day. But also be mindful if that's how they just normally talk and they just mad about the world. You just have to be conscious of that and do your best to kind of minimize that. You can only do so much, right? If they're like somebody in your family who's like they have to be there. I do want some protein, but it's already 7 at night and I'm gonna be in bed in a couple hours. That's kind of like my dilemma right now. I should not be going to the gym to say. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, I run into somebody I know, they're like, what are you doing with that camera? Like, did you know? You get too famous? Just look at me weird, just like everyone else is. For talking to myself. Isn't it the real struggle when you forget something and then you gotta go all the way back? That's what I almost did. I almost walked to the front of Costco, and what I need is all the way back here. I'm trying to be more conscious of what I eat. I mean, I do love sweets sometimes, but a scientist that I know that studies diabetes says that if you eat sugar on an empty stomach, it's not good for you. Because if you ate something nutritious first, your body will absorb that, and then any sugar that you eat after, kind of like your body won't keep it for storage, for energy. So always eat nutrition first and then sugar. Don't eat sugar on an empty stomach. And when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, you're so right. Simple, but right." Okay, Costco used to have this honey here that's so good. Manuka honey. And I see sourdough bread, which is like a beautiful combination. When I used to do my macros for nutrition, fats, carbs, protein, I used to fit that on my macros, and it was amazing. Which I think I might start doing again. Oh, and croissants. Ish. That's my weakness. They're so fluffy and buttery and ooh, yes. Certified organic sourdough bread. Best by March 2nd, 2026. All right, so we got 6 months to eat this. I don't know how healthy that is, but it's organic. See, I need to leave because now I'm shopping on an empty stomach. Kind of like I need fuel right now, and so now I'm just looking for stuff. When I came here, just a few things on the lists. This, my folks, is dangerous. But at times, take my little happy self to the registers before I go a little crazy. Well, that's a wrap, folks. I'm gonna listen to some music on the way home and chill out. So I'll see you tomorrow and have a great night.